I'd like to call on Mr. Hong An Nguyen, the publisher and editor of TiVi Tuần-san, so he can welcome all our distinguished guests and friends to the official launch of television online for TiVi Tuần-san.
Senator the Honorable Zed Seselja, Assistant Minister for Social Services and Multicultural Affairs. The Honorable Tim Watt, Federal Member of Jolly Brand, representing the Federal Opposition Leader Mr. Bill Shorten. Mr. Rob McLeod, Advisor to the Honorable Adam Band, Green Party. Senior Venerable Thích Nguyên Táng of Quang Đức Buddhist Monastery. Father Peter Hoa of St. John the Baptist Catholic Church in Clifton Hill. Mr. Alan Kaufman, Director of Labour Edit Media. Mrs. Thanh Khâm Trần Đăng, President of the Australian Vietnamese Women Association. Mr. Jung Lee, CEO of Hollywood Now and head of the Thank You Australian campaign last year. Dr. Pham Phúc Nhường, who is known for his prompt and successful campaign to raise funds for many good causes. Lawyer Nguyen Tân Hải, the former president of the Vietnamese community in Victoria. Lawyer Trần Đức Dũng, the former commissioner of Maribyrnong City. I know whether we have the former mayor of city, Yara Philip Hogian is here. Maybe he's coming later. Professor Nguyen Xuân Thu, the co-founder of the University of RMIT Vietnam. Mr. Ho Kong Lo, I think he's looking for somewhere to park the car. He is the editor of the newspaper called the TiVi Nhân Quyền. Mr. Trinh Nguyen, journalist from the ASCO magazine. A distinguished guest and friends, ladies and gentlemen. I think some of you have just visited the studio of our television online. 30 years ago, I couldn't have a dare to invite you all to visit the editorial office of our TiVi Tuần-san newspaper. You know why? Because it was our bedroom. Running the newspaper in our bedroom for many years is something we are proud of, and it's a good story to retell. 20 years ago, 3 months before becoming our 25th Prime Minister, the then Opposition Leader John Howard came to our office to celebrate the 10th anniversary of our paper. Fortunately, it was not in our bedroom anymore, but in an office in Richmond. As you can see in the one, the third picture at the top, with some main headlines that made our front cover during the past decades. Mr. Howard cut TiVi Tuần-san birthday cake in the shape of our newspaper. And I also would like to invite you to look at the second picture. The second picture of the one, Senator Nick Bunkers, the then Labor Immigration Minister, gave the speech at the opening of our new office in 1994 in Richmond. That's just some of many stories I would like to tell you in regards to how our media business has developed. Nowadays, in this internet area, we have had to adapt ourselves to align with the ever-changing technology. That's why we started our website in Vietnamese in 2007. At the beginning of this year, we added an English section to our online platform to cater for the young Australia-born Vietnamese, as well as for the non-Vietnamese who want to read the news about our community in English. We call this multiculturalism. Pardon me, the Minister of Multicultural Affairs, if I'm not correct. Multiculturalism. About 1 month ago, we began uploading online webcasts which include daily news bulletin, features, current affairs in Vietnamese and English. I'd like to thank our staff, friends, and especially the young talent who are presented here. Some are presented here. Some of whom have shared the story about being Vietnamese Australian on our online television program hosted by Mr. Van Nguyen, our English editor. My special thanks to Senator Seselja for accepting my invitation to travel very far from Canberra to Melbourne. And as a son of a migrant family, if I'm not wrong, and the politician who holds the portfolio of multicultural affairs, I think Senator Seselja has something to share with us at the launch of our bilingual television online. Thank you all for sharing some time to attend the launch of our television online today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's great to be with you today, and thank you, Mr. Hong An. It's Nguyen, is it? Is it Nguyen? I'll do my best to get my pronunciations right, and you did very well in pronouncing my surname. Most people struggle. There is a Croatian way of pronouncing it, which is Seselja, but I don't insist on that in any way. And my federal colleague, Tim Watts, great to see you here today. And ladies and gentlemen, friends in the Vietnamese community, it's a really special occasion today. This has obviously been a long time coming, and it's part of the evolution of TiVi Tuần-san, which has been such an important part of the Vietnamese community for a long time. And launching the television online service today, this is the first online media source of this kind for the Vietnamese community in Australia, and I congratulate you for that. We're here today because back in 1985, Mr. Nguyen, of course, out of his bedroom, founded TVTS Tuần-san, one of the first Vietnamese newspapers in Melbourne. And it's a weekly television guide, or TV Weekly. And it may of course have looked like a modest niche publication, but it began circulating nationwide within a year, which is an extraordinary achievement. And as a testament to Mr. Nguyen's drive, TVTS Tuần-san continued to develop into a weekly newspaper covering domestic and world news and other topics of interest to the Vietnamese community in Australia. In 2007, TVTS Tuần-san established a Vietnamese language online publication. The growth continued. An English edition was introduced to TVTS Tuần-san's daily online publication in March this year to cater to younger Vietnamese and Vietnamese communities across Australia. TVTS Tuần-san's new television online service includes webcasts in Vietnamese and English. We'll have interviews, feature stories, discussions and news bulletins. TVTS Tuần-san's online media service has two editors. Mr. Nguyen is the Vietnamese language editor, and Ms. Van Nguyen, the journalist, is the English language editor. It's estimated there are more than 250,000 Vietnamese Australians in Australia. So this new venture has a significant potential audience. As a digital service, accessible across Australia, it will have a valuable role in helping people from Vietnamese-speaking countries who come to Australia as a humanitarian entrance and new migrants to transition to their new lives. Can I just make a broader point about the Vietnamese community here in Melbourne, in Sydney, in Canberra, right around the country? It's been a community that I think has made an amazing contribution. I think it's one that you can be very, very proud of. You have come to Australia and taken the opportunities that are here, and in doing so, not only have you built better lives for yourselves and for your families, you've also helped to enrich Australia and make it the wonderful multicultural nation that it is today. So I congratulate you on that, Mr. Nguyen. I congratulate you particularly for this great legacy. And that legacy that started in 1985 and has continued to this day takes a significant further step with the announcement of this online publication today. So congratulations to you and thank you for the wonderful honour to join with you here today.
I'd like to start today by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which you meet, pay my respects to their elders past and present. I always think it's a particularly important thing to acknowledge traditional owners at an event like this because it's a reminder to all Australians that unless you are an Indigenous Australian, unless you are one of the first Australians, we are all migrants to this land, and it's the contributions of migrant communities over particularly the last 200 years that have made Australia into the thriving, successful, multicultural success story that we are today. Multicultural success story that TiVi Tuần-san has been chronicling since 1985 and chronicling many of those success stories in my own electorate, which runs from Footscray through to Sunshine West. I can see a few of those events behind me on the wall there today. I'd also like to acknowledge the distinguished guests here today. I won't go through you all again, but Senior Venerable Father and of course Hong Nguyen. Congratulations on today. It feels like only yesterday I was here for the start of the thank you celebrations some years ago, so it's good to be back. Over 30 years ago, Hong Nguyen decided to launch a Vietnamese language newspaper covering all news, local, national and international, and before long the circulation was nationwide, like the Vietnamese Australian community. Through Hong Nguyen's hard work, thousands of people who were previously cut off were finally able to stay informed and up to date with current affairs through TiVi Tuần-san. People in my community, in my electorate in Melbourne's West, have told me that they, or their parents, used to rely on TV Times for all of their news. The newspaper has come a long way since its humble beginnings in bedrooms in this community. At a time when newspaper circulation is waning elsewhere, TiVi Tuần-san continues to be incredibly popular. Hong Nguyen and TiVi Tuần-san have made an exciting move to digital, which I'm sure will help grow the newspaper's readership, helping people from all over the world stay informed about the events happening around them. And I'm extremely proud to be here today to celebrate the launch of TVTS Online's Television Online. It's the first online media source, television source for the Vietnamese community in Australia, and this is great value for this publication. Bringing a vital cornerstone of Melbourne's thriving Vietnamese community to online TV ensures that it will continue to connect both new migrants and second-generation migrants in the digital age. And the addition of the English language edition earlier this year meant younger generations could be more involved, and it's been particularly heartening to me to see the way that the Vietnamese community in Australia has been continuing to invest in subsequent generations born in Australia through programs like the Dual Identity Leadership Program, but also through these initiatives to reach back and ensure that the culture is handed down to new generations, to stay connected to their dual identities and cultural roots. Now, over 70,000 Victorians are Vietnam born. The national figure is obviously much higher, up to 500,000 with ancestry. And last year, the 40th anniversary of Vietnamese migration to Australia sees them as the 5th largest migrant community, 3rd largest from non-English speaking countries. We thank you for making this country a more vibrant and prosperous place to live. And we enjoy the Vietnamese community's contribution to Australia through their most famous sons and daughters, such as the former Australian of the Year and Pride of Footscray, Tan Le, who's being very successful in the Silicon Valley at the moment. We continue to benefit from their connection to home as greater opportunities for trade and investment are realised. It's these contributions to our great society that continue to promote the benefits of multiculturalism and make Australia the vibrant place it is today. And on a personal note, I'm told that Hong Nguyen, you're going to give another musical performance today, is that right? I recall your performance from the last time I was here, so I'm fondly looking forward to that. Have you written a new piece for today? Very good. I know what to expect when I come to TiVi Tuần-san. Hong Nguyen is just an incredibly passionate man with deep compassion and love. So thank you for inviting me here today, and I look forward to enjoying your future successes with you. Thank you.
We have around 300 250,000 Vietnamese around Australia at the moment. And TV Tuần-san has made the significant bridge from Australian community to our ethnic group, Vietnamese community in Australia. And TV Tuần-san has contributed for our society, not only Australia society, but our homeland. So make the bridge the language, the Vietnamese language, for all generation, especially second Vietnamese generation in Australia. So at the moment, religious and society people, they worry about the second generation in Australia. They lost their way in new society. So Hong An Nguyen, he would like to make more contribution for our society to learn the TV online, English and Vietnamese, to help for the second generation. And I'm very happy to be here today, and congratulations TiVi. She graduated the English journalist in Australia. And you know, TiVi is Hong An youngest daughter, and she would like to transfer his knowledge and his delegation to his daughter to maintain his job. So I'm here to congratulate Hong An and TiVi, and I wish your project will be successful. Thank you.
In our scripture, when St. Peter was on the hill with Jesus, and he said to Jesus, "It's good to be here." So I'd like to use that word "good to be here" because we have so many people here attending this great and significant occasion for TV Tuần-san. I certainly am very impressed by the presence of the federal members representing the Multicultural Affairs, Senator Zed and team, and your words very encouraging us to grow and develop. In terms of my thoughts and sharing today, I would like to use two words: responsiveness and growth. I think TV Tuần-san began very humbly, as Hong Anh had said before, in a bedroom, very humble. But TV Tuần-san has a nature of being responsive to the needs of the people. And so as the Vietnamese community grows in our society after being allowed in to settle and to live in Australia, very quickly, very responsibly, TV Tuần-san was born to cater for the needs of integrating into Australian society. So TV Tuần-san began with a way of imparting information in print media. I've been here 35 years in Australia, and certainly TV Tuần-san have passed through my hands numerous times, and it caters for a lot of needs among the Vietnamese people to follow what's on the news, what's going on in the world, even stories, poetry, humor. So it's very good way of keeping people informed, and also their needs are looked after in order to survive at first, and to grow and develop. So responsiveness is the nature of TV Tuần-san. Over the last 30 years, it has responded to all these changes in our society, particularly the Vietnamese community. But because of that, it grows. And so growth is very important in our life, and TV Tuần-san is part of that too. But the good things about growth is that TV Tuần-san does not grow outside or grow apart, but grows together with the Vietnamese community. And today we are launching or witnessing a launching of a significant shift from print media to digital service. We live in an era we call audio visual. Listening is not good enough, we have to see as well. So seeing and listening help us to fully understand the issues going on, and also lots of other things that otherwise we would not have understood fully. So this is a significant shift for TV Tuần-san from print media to TV Online, catering for, once again, more than just the Vietnamese community. The growth is also in language as well, catering for the second Vietnamese generations who speak very little Vietnamese but fluent English, and they would understand everything in English. And Thuy Văn, well done to bring that into the scene for young Vietnamese and also non-Vietnamese too. They would like to know more about the activities and lives of Vietnamese in Australia, and help all people to integrate into our society more fully, more effectively. So I would like, on behalf of the Vietnamese Catholic community in Melbourne, I would like to congratulate Hồng Anh for your persistence in bringing lots of things into the Vietnamese community. Now you are also dragging your daughter into it. Hopefully with freedom you are following your father's footsteps in making sure that young Vietnamese are also maintaining the culture while integrating beautifully and effectively and fruitfully in our Australian society. So I've already gone online and have a look at TV Online. Fantastic. I'm afraid that I might be hooked on that all the time and I neglect my work, and that might not be good, but certainly the service is fantastic for us in the future. So congratulations to TV Tuần-san for making this great leap from print media to digital audio-visual service to all people in our society. So once again, congratulations.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen. My parents and brother Danny and I have had a remarkable pleasure of working together with Hong An and his family for the past 31 years. Our role was to help them secure advertising content for their magazine TVTS Online from corporate and government sectors. And we've enjoyed that very much. So for the past 31 years, Hong An and Ha have been running their publication like a very well-oiled machine. And we've witnessed Hong An's passion for writing, his honourable and professional business conduct, and we've admired his steadfast determination in the pursuit of journalism excellence. Definitely in Vietnamese. We know that TVTS Online is an icon within the Vietnamese community, and it's a must-have read each week for many thousands of people in Melbourne. So Hong An's success is truly well earned and deserved. What makes it remarkable is Hong An arrived in Australia as a refugee by boat with nothing but hope. And to see where he's come today is just truly remarkable and admirable. Today, Hong An and his talented daughter Van are launching into the world of video and their new YouTube channel. A new frontier, a new medium for them, and a new challenge in the rapidly changing media landscape. And we know that they will create a wonderful product for the benefit of the Vietnamese community and the city of Melbourne. Hong An and his family are well equipped for this journey. As we've seen, they have the proven attributes to deliver something fantastic. They have the desire, the passion, the tenacity, and the willingness to invest into this to make sure it's a success. We wish him and his family all the very best with your new endeavours, and we look forward to sharing the journey with you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, and distinguished guests. This year is an interesting year. There are so many world events happening around us. In America, Donald Trump to the local event, and for me, more notably, I am year older. I am not look like it. In fact, I'm over 70 years old now. I'm sure everyone here knows someone who likes to surf at the beach. I too, but I like surf. I prefer to do it online. Hello, everyone. I'm Yen Bui, represent Vietnamese Senior Cultural Association. I'm very excited to be here to celebrate the launch of the first live stream on TVTS Online. As senior citizens, mobility and independence has always been a challenge for us. This is compounded by isolation from the rest of the community due to ill health. I stay here, I'm nearly have to look for someone to sit down. I can't stand too long. The second one, the language barriers. The third one, access to the public transport. Hesitated to rely on the family member for support as they don't want to be a burden on their family. After experience firsthand of what TVTS Online can offer, I strongly believe TVTS Online can keep the elderly people like me connected, allow to me to be entertained, to keep up to date with the current affairs online in Vietnamese, which is truly enriching and stimulating. To provide a small sense of independence. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to share our experience as a senior citizen. I leave you with one request. For those of you that knows how to surf, and I don't mean the one at the beach, but help senior citizens to surf on tvonline.com.au.
We come to this land from everywhere, from the north, from the west, from the east. We go down under, we go to Australia, land of red hearts, people and children. We go guided by southern stars. Oh, people and migrants on the new. We search for freedom together, build our land. Australia, the land we all go. God, hear our prayer, our sincere prayer for our country. Australia, bless Australia. Each day I see Yarra flows so quietly around, vibrant green hills, Capons in love, so beautiful and friendly. We gonna call Melbourne home. Harmonies, diversity, bringing love to our Melbourne. We live in peace and happiness. Harmonies, diversity, bringing love to our Melbourne. We live in peace and happiness. Thank you. Thank you very much.